Alright, screw it. I choose problems and drama today. So, just want to let you guys know right now, this is going to be unfiltered Nomad. This is going to be Nomad just absolutely going off the rails and speaking his mind, not holding back. So, just want to give a fair warning right now. I'm going to take a lot of hot takes. And yeah, so let's just get on with the video. So today we just learned that Killer Klowns from outer space will be having a little help from our friends IllFonic. For anyone who has played an IllFonic game, we're just going to say it up right now that this is possibly the biggest mistake the creators of Killer Klowns from outer space can make right now. Because I'm just going to keep it simple, with it being that with an IllFonic game, these are the things you're going to run into. You're going to run into a lot of bugs, a lot of glitches, a lot of unfinished products. A lot of content creators are going to get with IllFonic and they're going to accept them. However, with IllFonic, you're going to get royally screwed whether you work with them or not. As someone who has kind of worked with them, they are kind of dicks sometimes, especially when it comes to respecting the fandom. Now, they may do it a couple of weeks or months into it, but once everyone is settled and wanting more and more and like saying, hey, what's going to be the next step? IllFonic's going to jump ship quicker than the people on the Titanic. What I mean by this is that IllFonic likes to do a cash grab IP hop. By this, I mean that they use the short-term success of each game they make, and then they quickly buy the next property to make a game on to rinse and repeat. This has become a cycle of false promises for long-term support, making a crash grab in the short term and then getting out once the green light for another game, just to repeat it over and over again. Towards the end of the support of the game, they push all their unfinished products out and basically breaking the game with a bunch of glitches and bugs, and don't even bother to finish them, or fix them for that matter, before releasing, which is a blatant false advertising if you can't even use what was advertised. When people ask questions, they are instantly vague or misleading at best, and block them. Worse, to prevent basically creating a bunch of noise in multiple afflicted communities. Sometimes they outright lie. So Killer Klowns from outer space, video is also for you. As a warning, this goes to the creators and the fandom that this might not be the greatest choice to make as a business move, to move with IllFonic. Because IllFonic's similar to that of Hatred when it comes to the fans, similar to that of Blizzard and their Overwatch community. It's a big thing. IllFonic is outright liars and scammers, and in my opinion will likely never change unless the cycle falls apart if or when many more people become more aware of this. Now, understandably, their most popular games such as Friday the 13th, and Predator Hunting Grounds have had a little bit of issues with their properties, with most of them being taken to court. Now, people on the Predator Hunting Grounds community and the Friday the 13th community can totally understand that sometimes you cannot do things when there's legal boundaries on. However, when the court finally released the games from Content Hell, IllFonic never even capitalized on any of them. Instead, Friday the 13th got shut down indefinitely, but people are still playing the game. Understand that. Do you know how awesome a game has to be that it was meant to be dead and then people still kept playing it because they loved it that much? But with Predator Hunting Grounds, it got royally screwed because Predator Hunting Grounds, it started off as an amazing thing. It has been since 2005 since a Predator property game had a standalone that did not involve the alien or xenomorph fandom. No disrespect at all to them. They have an awesome community and we always love collabing with them. However, the Predator really needs some standalone things because while there are amazing AVP stories, there also are a lot of amazing Predator stories that stand alone that I would love to see adapted into maybe a game or a movie. Now, as a Predator Hunting Grounds content creator, which is basically how I got my start, and I basically should not be talking IllFonic, but when you ignore the one community that has been begging for scraps, I think it's time that I just snap, because I'm going to be telling my story. I'm going to be telling what I have a beef with IllFonic. Back in 2020, when we were all alerted of the deadly virus known as COVID, we were all stuck in our homes. Then on April 24th, a game known as Predator Hunting Grounds, made by IllFonic, has finally come out. And as a new Predator fan, I was absolutely excited because I have been playing other games such as AVP 2010 and Concrete Jungle to basically just dip my feet into the games and to understand some of the lore. So knowing that a newer, fresher game of a Predator game came out, I was absolutely bouncing off the walls and I could not stop playing it. And since 2020, I have been uploading Predator Hunting Grounds content. Granted, they were kind of like my first time videos, so like don't judge me because I didn't know anything about when it came to making videos. But anyways, when it came to Predator Hunting Grounds, it brought the fandom together because in 2018, we were divided. We were split because of a movie known as The Predator, made by Shane Black. Oh boy, I could say a lot about this movie, but we do not have the time. Anyways, when Predator Hunting Grounds came out, I wanted to be different. So what I did was I made a bunch of Predator builds. I made them from the movies, from the comics, whatever I could try to make with the limited customization, I was able to make, and I was able to give stories. I wanted to basically introduce new Predator fans to the Predator community and universe via telling stories in the description. Maybe a year or months later, I can't really tell when, was when October was coming in for Halloween. And I decided, you know what I want to do? I want to make Halloween builds. I want to bring the classic monsters into Predator Hunting Grounds and maybe make some lore on why these builds are made, such as maybe all these creatures were secretly Yautjas or predators, building off of the AVP story that predators were viewed as gods. Maybe some were viewed as monsters. Anyways, not even halfway through my Predator Monster Halloween marathon did IllFonic contact me and say how much they loved what I've been doing for the community. I was absolutely fanboying out because not only am I talking to the creators of Predator Hunting Grounds, they were interested and have seen what I have made, and it just blew my mind that these guys made the time to just look and just see what I could do. So from then on forward, I've basically been crediting them. I've been giving them everything I could to make this game amazing, to make it shout out to all the other communities that, hey, we are here, we're having fun, join us. And this gotten so good that IllFonic even made a newsletter about me. They shouted me out on their own forums and their newsletters. It was crazy. I was living the dream and I was absolutely just in complete euphoria. Then I want to say a couple months later after that, I have been friends with IllFonic for a little while, that they even reached out to me and two friends that I made on the community game. For stuff like this, I can't really say their names unless I don't know. We're not really friends anymore, sadly, but moving on. They brought us together to make an anniversary video for 2 years of Predator Hunting Grounds. This was huge. We started our own little group chat, just fanboying out. We've been like, oh my God, this is it. We're working with them. They think we're awesome. This is great. We're just coming up with ideas on the fly. And we got to work with IllFonic, or at least help one of the members of IllFonic to help them out with Predator Hunting Grounds. Their name was Joe. Joe was basically the guy who brought us all together. And he even said, hey, I know you guys are awesome. You're both closely knit, but I think we want to diverse the group a little bit. Do you know any female content creators of Predator Hunting Grounds? To my response was, yeah, I know 2 excellent female Predator Hunting Grounds content creators that I can say with confidence. And then one of my friends decided, hey, I know another one. Their name is, and I'm definitely not going to say their name because we are still having bad blood. I don't like them, and I'm pretty sure they don't like me. So we're just going to call them Dark Feline Community, I guess. That's the closest I can get. But yeah, they decided to bring them on. Me personally, I still had bad blood even before then. Yeah, there's a lot of trauma in the Predator Hunting Grounds community, just saying right now. But if you guys are interested in that story, I guess I could tell it. But yeah, that's a story for another time. We're moving on. So we decide to work together, and what Joe wanted from us was he wanted gameplay of certain classes from the Predator Hunting Grounds game. He wanted game footage, he wanted all that. And we were happy to give it to him. We gave him all our best content we could give. I took on most of the heavy labor on playing the hardest classes in public matches. It was hard, but we made it work. Not to say that the others didn't do hard work either. They did excellent jobs. Except for one person, but we're just going to skip them. Days later, we have finally finished compiling all of the gameplay that we needed to give, and we waited. We waited for the time for the anniversary to come. I don't know what everyone else was doing, but me personally, I was so excited. I decided to tell my family. I was like, hey guys, you're never going to believe this, but I was working with a game company to make an anniversary video, and I want you guys to be there because this is possibly the biggest thing that I have ever done, that I've wanted to do for a long time. Do you guys want to join me? And they accepted. They were like, yeah, we want to see what this is all about. Let's see what's going on. So I waited, and we were all on the couch waiting. I was like, I'm sure it's going to come on. Don't worry. Turns out that IllFonic was really, really slow on delivering this. Like, really slow. It didn't even go on the month of the anniversary. We had to wait, like, I think 2 more months or, like, 1 month. And it was kind of like a kick to the heart a little bit. Because now I kind of look like a liar and stuff. I had to show evidence that, like, hey, yeah, I did do this. But, yeah, so when the video finally came out, what the difficulty was that IllFonic had to go to Disney, Fox at the time, and Sony. They had to greenlight having not only this video be introduced into an anniversary for 2 years, but they also had to basically have our names in the video. So we couldn't have gotten shouted out if it wasn't for IllFonic. Maybe, because like that kind of seemed a little dumb. Like, not crediting the people that were involved in making this, it was a little upsetting at times, and it confused us at times too. But anyways, the video came out, and as much as I hyped it up and I tried to make this work, the anniversary video was really, it was kind of a letdown.
Help me! Help me!
Out of here. It's too dangerous. Put out.
Now, when I thought this was going to be an anniversary video, I not only thought that, like, hey, maybe we can get some DLCs with this, or like, hey, maybe we can get some cinematic shots that would be unique to this video. The video was not even posted on YouTube. It was posted on Twitter and Instagram, where I don't want to say most people saw it. Like, it got views, but like, it didn't reach out to the majority. And I think on YouTube, it would have been great. But yeah, moving on, we, after that fiasco and having to defend ourselves with the Predator Hunting Grounds community, because again, we were getting divided at the time. When this happened, I went to Joe specifically and I said, hey man, look, we need to talk about Predator Hunting Grounds because I want to know if there's a plan going forward with this game, because so far you have been giving us reskins of characters, no maps, and some of the DLCs are not even finished. Some of them like didn't even come with some of the stuff they did. You ripped people off. Joe said, hey, I'm so sorry about this. We will get right on it. Make me a list of everything that is wrong with the game, and we will make it our top priority. So we did that. We made a list of not only bugs, glitches, but also, I wouldn't say cheaters, because that's a huge thing we cannot talk about in the Predator Hunting Grounds community. Exploiters in the game that make the game easier for said characters, but make it harder for the opposing person. It's kind of unfair in some situations, but we're going to move on. So we made this, and we gave it to him. Nothing was done with it. Every time we tried to talk to IllFonic or Joe, we were met with a scripted line that he would always repeat. And it got frustrating. It got to the point where I even snapped. Now, when I snap, it's a big thing because I'm a nice person. I try to be a nice person. But IllFonic just got so on my nerves that time that I was like, you know what? I'm going to let it happen. I'm going to absolutely go unhinged. I'm going to let all the dirty laundry out. So I did. I told them everything, what I thought. I'm like, dude, you need to step up your game. Because if this is how you treat your community, then you guys fuck. It's that simple. You guys suck. So throughout everything. And it got to the point where my friends had to hold me back and had to make me swallow my pride, because it was just a very passionate time for me. And I wanted to do this right, but it didn't feel like we were doing it right. It felt like we were doing it easy mode. Anyways, so IllFonic just silenced us all. Whenever we tried to talk about it, we wouldn't get a response. For any time someone got close to getting to talk to someone, it wouldn't happen. They would get blocked. Some people, even on IllFonic, when they tried to help the community, they got fired. Do you know how awful that is? That a community member that's from the game company fires someone for trying to help the community that they built. It was horrible. And it was an eye-opener for me, but it was too soon because I realized how badly they were screwing us over and for how long. A good example would be how IllFonic used the money that we used as fans for Predator Hunting Grounds into a new game to abandon this one called Arcadoggeddon, which did okay when the content creators revolved around the game, but after that, it was dead in the waters after. It was a horrible time, but still, I played Predator Hunting Grounds. Not because IllFonic wanted me to, but because I wanted to. I love the franchise. I love the community. But I do not like the companies that sometimes run it. Now, the only thing that keeps the Predator fandom alive, the Predator Yautja community, is the fans. The super fans. Fans like the ones here in my community, the artists, the cosplayers, the ones who are trying to make a fan-made Predator game. These guys are awesome. Even some of the directors, like the one from Prey, they keep the fandom alive because Prey was an absolute revival compared to what 2018 brought. Was it the best? Sometimes people say it's not the best, but to me, I absolutely loved it. It was great. It was something we could use. It was something that we could love and combine our love for the community over. And it gave us something to talk about. So to the Killer Klown company and the community, I just want to say, I'm sorry. I want to say that you guys are in for a heap load of possible trouble, and it's going to be horrible at times. You're going to be wondering, how could a game that had so much potential go wrong? And the simple answer is, IllFonic was there.